for a couple of hours on a beautiful day. Daydreams.
Welcome back to Ripe Avocados, episode 27, the best movie review podcast on the internet, some are saying. And we're back with one of the best movies
of all time.
Maybe of all time. Yeah. Yep. It is Red One, starring The Rock, J.K. Simmons, Chris Evans. I'll let Sean take it away from here.
I mean, honestly, that's all that needs to be said, really. Now, Red One, it's about the message of the movie is saving Christmas in Red One. That's really what it's all about. Making sure you treat people well. You're saving Christmas and also defeating an 18-foot ogre bitch witch that is trying to trap everyone in snow globes and keep them as a collection. This movie follows Chris Evans playing Jack O'Malley and Dwayne The Rock Johnson playing Dwayne The Rock Johnson in yet another film. Just being one of the biggest dudes on the screen and just kicking ass, but in a subtle way. And J.K. Simmons, who plays Santa Claus, is captured by... it's
SEAL Team 6.
Yeah, SEAL Team 6, who follow their mother, Grilla. And, don't say her name too loud. She'll hear.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But they capture Santa Claus to use his power to basically mass manufacture snow globes to just capture a bunch of naughty people and put them in there. Which sounds ridiculous. But yeah, and Dwayne The Rock Johnson is then his Santa Claus's bodyguard, and he goes on a mission to find him. Yeah, Red, sorry. And Dwayne The Rock, his name is Cal, but it's The Rock. And they enlist Chris Evans, who's the world's greatest tracker. Could find everyone but his dad. And like, who's his dad? That's the sequel we want.
Jack Frost is his dad.
And basically they end up saving Christmas. They defeat the witch. They put her in her own snow globe, and they save the day. And also, at the end of the day, Chris Evans turns out to be a great father.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
If you've never seen this movie and you're listening to this right now, you're probably like, what the fuck is this movie about? And it doesn't matter what the movie about. This movie was great, and it's one of the worst things I've ever seen, but it's fantastic.
Yeah. It is. Let's go over our scores, and then we can really dive into this cinematic masterpiece. So, entertainment for me, I went 8.1.
Entertainment was an 8.0 for me.
Nice. Characters, I went 2.0.
Characters, I went a 2.5.
Damn. Cinematography, I went 3.9.
Cinematography, I went 0.5.
And then writing, I wrote down negative 0.1, but we've never done that before, so... Or negative 1.0 is what I wrote down, but we'll go with 1.0 because we haven't done that before.
Writing is a 0.5.
All right. Well, where do you want to start here? You touched on...
you know where I want to start? I want to start on Mini Rock.
Mini Rock. Well, that was just a rip-off of Ant-Man, in my opinion.
Yeah, 1,000%.
It took away from the Rock's allure, where he's just the big bad bully beating up bad guys. That was quite the word.
Yeah, that was a Dr. Seuss big kind of beat.
Yeah, but it looked so comical, and the CGI there was just fucking ridiculous. Where he was just taking on snowmen on a beach in, I think they were in Mexico or something.
Yeah,
and the dude from the League was there for whatever reason, like running that beach.
Nick Kroll.
Yeah, he was just like taking names on the fucking beach, and then The Rock showed up, did his little Ant-Man shtick, and he had that tool the whole movie. There's probably so many plot holes we could come up with because of how he could shapeshift any given object, I guess, besides Wonder Woman. And yeah, dude, it was fucking. I just think it took away from the whole Rock allure where he's just like beating the shit out of everyone.
I mean, this movie was just so ridiculous. I kind of wish it was like. I kind of wish Disney had a part in it so they could just have like throw out Avengers action figures and literally just have like Chris Evans playing Jack O'Malley, but then also play Captain America. That would have been sick. They should have just made this even more ridiculous.
I mean, it kind of was. Chris Evans also is not. Chris Evans is playing Chris Evans as well. They're the same
true.
character.
That is true.
Aside from like Snowpiercer, I don't know if he's ever not playing the snarky douchebag, basically.
Yeah.
And
we should talk about Chris Evans' glow up in this movie, though. From a chubby child to this dashingly attractive man who had a kid with the waitress from
Charlie's
It's
wife.
Always Sunny. Yeah.
yeah. that was like one of the biggest mysteries of the whole thing. How did she get with him is a question
for
that
real.
I was
Also,
really wondering.
where was her husband? Where was her new husband? Like, I get he was like out and about and couldn't pick up the kid that one time, but she was hounding Chris
Yeah.
Evans.
They didn't have Charlie Day's. They couldn't afford Charlie Day's salary because they spent
Yeah.
like $250 million on this movie, and 100 probably went to The Rock, justifiably so.
Right.
Who also
50 went to Chris Evans.
Yep, 50 went to Chris Evans, probably another 50 to Lucy Liu and J.K. Simmons combined, and then Bonnie Hunt, she was in there. She said, she had like one line in the whole movie. She was just locked in the cellar, and then early on she had a really intimate one-on-one with The Rock right in front of
Oh
Hubby.
yeah.
That was strange. But that was just to signify he's special. He's The Rock. And I actually did some research because The Rock's name in this movie is Cal Swift Drift, something like that. But he's known as Cal, and I was like, "There's no way he has."
Cal the Rock Johnson.
I've heard him be Cal in other movies before, so I did some deep diving. He has not been Cal in any movies before, but he has been a one-syllable name in like 99% of his movies. He's Mitch in Baywatch. That was the one I was thinking of off the top of my head, and it's the same person and everything, but people online I've seen complaining about this. I don't really understand why, because it's just The Rock. Like, you know what you're signing up for when you get into this.
Yeah.
The Rock is going to be
you
in
know-
tights. He's going to be in tights. Awesome tights, by the way.
He's either in tights or he's dressed like a UPS driver. Like he's got cargo shorts on and like just a button up top that he can probably rip the sleeves off at some point during the movie.
He's in like tights or a Halloween costume or a bit of both. Yeah. Playing the same. He's overly serious about the dumbest shit ever, like the quadruple naughty lister, whatever the hell that line was. They shouldn't have put that in the trailer too, because that would
like
have
level 4 naughty lister.
yeah, they should have. That would have had way more dramatic effect had they not spoiled that for us. But he just keeps somewhat of a straight face when he says these things. He's not even really keeping a straight face, and Chris Evans just does. They actually have great chemistry. That's why I have the entertainment score so high. Chris Evans was making me crack up.
Yeah, Chris Evans was like the best part of the movie. His reactions to things, I was like, okay, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, he just like burns a yoga class field to a crisp so he can steal a lanyard, basically. There were so many other ways he could have gone about that, but I loved it. It was so ridiculous.
I mean,
also,
the best part about it was he first of all, he could have killed like everyone on that campus with that fire, possibly. Who knows, right? And he's probably done countless more illegal things. I mean, we know he has, but the thing that gets him out of the like witch's snow globe is just him being a better dad and him being nicer, and they both break. It's like, what?
also, what's the witch's name again?
I don't
Galinda?
want to say it. Yeah, Galinda.
When Galinda says she goes on this tangent about how everyone's so naughty, she's the good guy. Do you think about that?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Low key.
Like
She
Yeah.
might be the best one of them all.
Yeah. She's mad hit though. I didn't understand why they had to have her be some ogre as well as in a human form. I think that was just complete waste of the budget. I would much rather preferred another rock chase scene in the North Pole. I will say the North Pole Metropolis looked really cool, honestly. Aside from maybe, I mean, the Elf North Pole to me, like the Will Ferrell movie,
Oh,
it's
the
not,
ELF. Oh.
that one's okay. But if we're ranking North Poles, I would probably put like the Polar Express at one.
I
don't
hate
really
that
care.
movie.
I don't know why you hate that movie. That's crazy.
Just
I
so
love-
creepy to me.
It is a little creepy. Like the ghost on the train is creepy for sure, but that's probably my favorite Christmas movie aside from Elf. But this was a pretty cool North Pole. It was probably the size of Tokyo, and under the dome from that like Michael Chiklis ABC show, and they infiltrate it. The Rock just goes on this ridiculous chase scene on a snowmobile in probably negative 60-degree weather with just his tights on. He causes an avalanche and apprehends the vehicle, and then it's just all a decoy. And
The
thus we
best
have the
part
whole
about
movie.
that scene was how horrible the CGI looked when he jumps off the snowmobile, shrinks it again, and then catches it in his hand as he lands.
Yeah, I don't even understand
So
why he did
badass,
that.
looked so bad.
Why did he have to do that either? He could just do that to another snowmobile thing. Just order one on Amazon for $1, or have one of your ELFs make one. But
That's like the PC way to say elves.
yeah, I think that's what they were going for there. I would have loved to see The Rock in a similar costume to Buddy the Elf. That would have been all time funny. Also,
would've
can we
been
talk
pretty
about
sick.
why was the polar bear not the chief of the task force or the security force?
I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe because he's just a polar bear and they don't trust him with that. But also, there were like, you were saying the North Pole was like a mini Tokyo or the size of Tokyo, whatever. They had like 6 bodyguards for Santa. I feel like there should be a bigger squadron for him. Hey, they were badass. I get they have a polar bear too that speaks perfect English, but like, I don't know, there should be more. When Santa first gets taken and they're in the control room, everyone's going haywire, the alarm's going off. There's literally 5 people like running around.
Well, that's because The Rock was on the case, so they probably knew that it was all good. But I agree, they should have had 100 employees at least, and I love the control room too. They were able to just see like it looked like an aerial sky cam.
Oh,
but they
yeah.
were like agent down as there's like a snowmobile that gets tripped up, but they're just looking at a skyline of Tokyo basically.
Yeah.
There's no way they could have seen that. But
I mean, there's
North
also
Pole
no
magic,
way. Yeah, exactly. The polar bear is fucking speaking perfect English. Like,
yeah, so I I don't really know where to go with this movie. The message was kind of I will give props. I think it was a different take on having Santa just be the American Ninja Warrior instead of like Tim Allen. Yeah, Tim Allen doing his shtick where he shrinks or makes the chimney bigger, goes down the chimney. So they took a little different approach doing that.
oh yeah, Santa was on his shit.
Yeah.
He was shoulder pressing 315 as a warm up.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. Those were 25 plates. I could see the 25s on them. They were just big 25 plates. I was saying the same thing, but that was only. There's no way J.K. Simmons is shoulder pressing that either.
Okay,
but-
well he's not even shoulder pressing 95 pounds. I don't think.
No.
Maybe I don't know. He looked jacked in this movie, but regardless,
He had 150 on the bar aside from the bar. So, yeah, he was doing 195.
Okay,
shoulder
regardless, he's not
Yeah.
doing that. Second of all, you know what, you're right. I did see the 25 on the side plate, but they should have just made that. They should have just written 100 pounds. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want Santa Claus over here military pressing 195.
Those also were the
Sam
grossest
Sulik's
looking.
gonna do that.
Did you see those cookies too? They had like way too many chocolate chips in them. Those looked ass. And there's
Oh.
no way The Rock ate it. They zoomed out
Oh,
because
wait,
you know that
hold
dude's
on, hold on. The chocolate chip cookie J.K. Simmons ate like after his workout or whatever.
Yeah. You
Oh,
thought that
bro,
looked
that
good?
shit looked amazing.
Oh, I think there was way too many chocolate chips on that cookie. But they zoomed out completely because you know The Rock is on a strict carnivore diet or whatever the fuck he eats.
Yeah,
Like,
Liver King.
yeah, steroids and ribeyes, basically. So,
Oh, dude, wait, that was another thing. When Mrs. Claus is the witch is actually shapeshifted into Mrs. Claus, it's Santa or the Rock
Rock
asks her what she's baking Santa, and she's like, "Oh, I got a fresh plate of macaroons coming in." It's like, are you dumb, bitch? Are you a stupid bitch? Like, you know Santa likes milk and cookies. Just say you got fresh cookies in the fucking oven. Like, what?
yeah. And the best part is he unshapeshifted. He was like, they're on to us.
Oh yeah, that's right. It wasn't the witch. It was the fucking henchman.
It was the henchman.
Yeah,
and then,
that's why.
And then the so much hypocrisy by this witch. I think she like threatened to kill him because they were onto them essentially.
Yeah,
But the whole time she is just doing a Thanos correction of the universe because some people jaywalked and whatnot. That was an
Yeah.
actual example. So
yeah, she literally was like killers and jaywalkers, all alike. Oh,
and
you had mentioned Nick Kroll in the beginning. That scene was so bad and funny to me. I was like audibly laughing out loud when he's doing the Michael Jackson lean as he's possessed by Grilla. You know what I'm talking
yeah.
about? He's in the sand and he's at like a perfect 45-degree angle talking to them. I'm like, what the fuck is going on in this movie? Like, why'd they have to do that?
that whole scene was just so ridiculous. Like the fact that they showed up in an ice cream truck, and all they had to do was take the carrots off their noses to dismember them and whatnot. But nonetheless, this movie was very rewatchable to me. I actually put it on again this weekend just to get
Yeah.
another glimpse of that first scene where he's hardcore parkouring the entire skyline, and I enjoyed it. I mean, it's really fucking dumb for sure, but if you just want to turn your brain off and watch The Rock beat the shit out of CGI characters, then go right ahead. And actual humans, he will hurt humans too.
Oh yeah,
order
he'll
to
stop at
save
no
Christmas.
cause to get Red
Yeah.
back. Dude, the funny thing, or one of the funny things that I noticed throughout the movie is they make a hard point. Like, the point comes across very clear that Chris Evans is just a regular human being. He's a tracker. He might have been a mercenary or whatever in his past life. He clearly has some fighting abilities, but he's a normal human being. The amount of, like, damage his body takes, but he still just gets up and walks around is insane. He, like, blew up a bar in Aruba fighting snowmen and just got blasted into the pool, was fine. Dude, fucking the ogre witch smashes him in the final battle scene when they're on the runway, and he just like gets right back up. I'm like, all his bones should be broken right now. Like, what is going on?
Yeah. Yeah, no, he was invincible. But that's just the power of Christmas, and he was on the nice list, so therefore he was invincible, and I love that. I love that shit.
Dude, imagine you're having a bad day and it gets worse because you're getting dragged around by the Rock to save Santa Claus, and you're fighting demons, giant ogres, Krampus himself, and your ex is constantly calling you being like, "Yo, you're not a good dad." That would send me over the edge. I would be like, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah, Chris Evans is pretty justified. I don't know if it justifies arson and
Probably
dealing
not.
with the black market, but I don't. Yeah, maybe we don't have to get into all those weeds, but It
Yeah,
would probably drive me up.
We
a
don't
wall.
know what else Chris Evans has done. He
Yeah.
might be human trafficking people on the side.
Hey, he doesn't know. He just sees it as anonymous.
That's
so
true.
That's, that's totally justified, and I commend him for that.
Yeah.
And he just really leans into the whole deadbeat dad. His like the first call Charlie's wife makes to him. He's like, "Yeah, I'm super busy," and he's just waking up from a bender in his bathtub, as one does.
His conversation with his kid when the kid clearly wants him to come to the recital, and Chris Evans just like, "Damn, that sounds like it sucks, man."
Yeah. He's like, I have a Christmas pageant tonight. And he's like, that fucking blows,
that
dude.
blows, bro.
He's like, yeah, I know. I said I'm mad about it. It's like, what is this dialogue? It just has
Also,
nothing to do with anything.
How does kid FaceTime him when he was in Germany?
I don't know.
I guess he just had the international plan, maybe.
It was WhatsApp.
Yeah, true.
His kid also looks nothing like him or Charlie's wife.
No, not at all. Besides the fact that the kid, dude, I just have nothing else. Like I don't know. The movie was like, besides the fact that this movie sucked so bad, it was good.
Yep. That's Red 1 for you, man. I would love
Yeah.
a Red 2. Red 2
Red
probably
2
be-
would be crazy.
Yeah, well, that actually already is a movie with with Morgan Freeman and John Malkovich.
Oh, I do know what you're talking about.
But if they typed out TWO, they could do that because I think it's Red 2 with numerical value.
Okay.
Maybe that's probably what they were trying to do is get people to look up Red, the movie, and accidentally stumble upon this. Like, oh, what's The Rock doing in Christmas tights? Let's check this shit
This
out.
movie also expedited its way to Amazon Prime. Like it was in theaters for, I don't know, a couple weeks, maybe a month at max.
Yeah.
And then it was just out of there.
I'm just going through some Letterboxd reviews. I'm surprised Ryan Reynolds didn't have a cameo in this.
Honestly, I'm surprised as well. Like they should have they should have made this the most ridiculous movie of all time.
They paid J.K. Simmons God knows how much to literally sleep in a chair for 90%.
Exactly. Exactly.
Every time I think the human race is capable of something more, they do something like this. We might end on that one. So our final score here, the Ripe Avocados score meter, we're going to give it a 3.3, as you can see. It's pretty ass. It's not as ass as some of the others that we've done. Shout out Joey King and Uglies, John B. It's definitely got more rewatchability than that. Like, The Rock is just so good at his niche.
Dude, what's the best Rock movie? What do you think?
I was going to say this one, or is it Skyscraper, where he has one leg?
Is that the one with the giant, like, gorilla?
No. That is Rampage. That's a good
Oh,
one.
sorry.
Yeah, no.
Sorry.
Skyscraper. I think it's Skyscraper. It's an unreal watch if you haven't seen it. Yes, Skyscraper, 2018. He basically, it's like Die Hard, but it's in a skyscraper. He has one leg.
Spoiler.
And he basically fights a militant group while utilizing his one leg. No superpowers technically, but he is getting a drug test after you watch this movie with some of the physical feats he does, and it's really fucking good one. Or Black Adam, that was really bad too.
That was really bad. I love Gridiron Gang. That's a fantastic movie.
Hobbs and Shaw is a great one too. Hobbs and Shaw is an all-time movie.
When he grabs the helicopter by the metal chain or both helicopters, right, and yanks them together.
He is one of the goats, and I hope he never ever tries to change up from what he does, because he's the best at it. I'm being sarcastic, but he is the best at these type of movies.
Him and Jason Statham go hand in hand. They play like the same person. Jason Statham is always a guy that has ex-military experience of some kind, and he's now some like lowly job.
The Rock doesn't even have that either. He's just big, and then
Yeah.
he can just do everything.
I
Baywatch.
really
You should watch
want to
Baywatch
know.
if you haven't.
I haven't seen that, and I
That's Zac
probably
Efron.
won't.
So Zac Efron's fucking funny. Zac Efron's actually a great actor.
Oh, I love Zac Efron.
As we've raved about Iron Claw all year, but he kind of just fills the Chris Evans role in that movie, and it's really effective and dumb. But
I would love to actually see the Rock contract / clause where he's not allowed to lose a fight in any movie. Like even in Red One, he gets the shit smacked out of him by Krampus, but of course he gets up. And you know they had to write in the line for Krampus being like, "I could kill you in one blow, but I'll take it easy on you." They had to write that in because they're like, "Oh, we can't have The Rock taking too big of a beating."
no, sir, no, we cannot. And The Rock takes another dub with this movie, rightfully so. So go check this movie out. Tell a friend. Grab your popcorn. Maybe grab a bottle of wine or four, and just get into the nitty gritty and go watch Red One. And until next time, Sean and I will be back next week with episode number 28, Ripe Avocados. Until then, peace out.
Deuces.
I dream of the places I've been.